Hey guys, I'm about to do a first impressions video of what I've got in my hands here, the Paria Outdoor Products Breeze Mesh Tent. This is exactly what it sounds like, a two-person mesh rectangular A-frame style tent that pairs really well with a tarp. So we're gonna go ahead and set this up, and you're seeing this as a first time I am setting this up. So this is a very much first impressions video. I'm excited to share it with you though. All right guys, so now I've got the Breeze mesh tent all set up for you. Now, remember this is an A-frame style tent, so you're not going to have a lot of shoulder room if you've got two people in here, but it's gonna work really great as a two-person tent. That's the first thing that I'm noticing is you do have a lot of space on the two sides for two sleeping pads, obviously, or a very roomy one-person shelter. Now, one of the first things I notice is the door is not very wide, which is fine, but knowing that this is an A-frame style, you're not going to have a lot of space for a door anyway, but it's a nice D-shaped door. It's fairly tall, which is a good thing, but your peak height is not as tall as what I'm used to seeing in some other tents. So if that is a concern for you, your peak height is probably less than about 40 inches. I'm not exactly sure on the specs on that. One of the things I noticed in here is up at the middle of the apex of the tent, you do have a loop, which you could hang obviously a headlamp or a lantern from. But I noticed that I've got the guy lines as tight as I can, but I'm noticing that even with as tight as it is, that does pull down quite a bit. So you're not gonna wanna put anything too heavy on that. Not really a big issue because you're going minimalist on something like this anyway. So I'll show you how I have it set up down here. They do have these nice tie outline points for the tent. You do have a end that is not made from mesh, which leads me to the fact that this tent is made from a lightweight no-CM mesh, and then you do have a 30 denier floor for the bottom, which is a nylon material. So you do have to have trekking poles or accessory poles, which you can purchase from Paria to be able to set this up. This does not come with any kind of poles, but it does come with the 6 stakes to stake out the corners and to be able to pitch the tent. So, and the tent is big enough for the little ones. Yep. Now I'm going to show you two configurations of how you can set up this tarp. There's going to be other configurations as well if you are creative, but you're looking at the Sanctuary SilTarp with the Breeze mesh tent underneath. So first thing to notice with the tent is you get a lot of space in there, and that is really, really cool to see. So space to the side of the tent. Now I am pitched on a little bit of an incline and a quick pitch, so there would be need to be some work done to perfect this a little bit more, as this is my first time setting this up. So first impressions here, guys, just trying to give you an idea of what this looks like and how well it works. And so far it's kind of impressive. It's a little windy outside, so it gives an idea of a weather test and how this might work as well. What I want to show you now though is just to walk around, and then I'm going to pitch this into a porch mode with one of the sides pitched up with some sticks and such. So here is the back side. I've got this end a little bit further pushed that way so that there's more coverage in front of the door, since the back of the tent has that nylon material on it. But overall, guys, this is pretty cool. So again, this is an 8-foot by 10-foot tarp. Get in here a little bit closer, but this is in the wind. You're seeing it firsthand. Pretty cool. I'm liking it so far. Now we've got option number 2. So I've got this set up in more of a porch mode. This would be something that you would do probably if you didn't have as inclement of weather, but you wanted the protection in case it did rain a little bit at night. but the benefit being is I can see out from the tent and see what's going on, all of that. So what I love about this and just my first impressions is how versatile this system is. You've got the tent obviously that is pretty fixed, but once you apply this or you include a tarp with it, you're going to get a lot of really cool options with it. So again, this is going to require a little bit of work to get the perfect pitch and just playing with it before you take it out into the backcountry and actually use it. But I love this setup. This is really cool. So all I did was I used the trekking poles that I got, and then I grabbed 2 sticks that were just laying on the ground. So just taking advantage of the resources that are available. But how cool is that? Lots and lots of space underneath. And I think the awesome benefit to this is you've got all of this space that's covered under here. So if it is raining, you do have the ability to either sit in the tent or you could cook under there and be protected as well. So just a simple walk around of this porch mode. Guys, this is really, really cool. I'm excited about this. So you would have this end into the wind so that you're protected from the elements. That could be brought down a little bit more as well to give a little bit more protection. But overall, I'm really, really impressed, guys. So guys, I just wanted to give you kind of an idea of how much space is inside of this tent. Now I am sitting up, my head is touching the front and the back of the mesh here. But overall, this is really cool. It's a nice bathtub floor. You've got taped seams on the floor, which is really cool to see. Obviously something that you would expect either way, but I'm gonna go ahead and lay down. And I've got plenty of room above my head. So if I move to one side and expecting that I'm gonna be probably 2 or 3 inches off the ground because of my sleeping pad, I'm going to be pretty close to the mesh here, but one of the things to note and pay attention to is the fact that you're not going to have condensation issues with this tent, and because it's such a big tent, and that's the name that they've given it, the Breeze Mesh Tent. So I'm really happy with this, guys. The only thing that I really don't like is it's hard to get the ridge of the tent really tight, and if I'm going to hang anything from the middle here on this loop, then it better not be something too heavy. Something that I wanted to mention about the tent is how much it weighs. So the 2 pieces here are going to be a total of about 45 ounces. Now the mesh tent alone is going to be about 25 ounces with the included stakes and the stuff sack. The tarp, the Sanctuary SilTarp, is about 20 ounces with the included guy lines and stakes. So you're not going to need all of the stakes with the tarp. You only need 4 stakes to be able to get it to pitch properly. But if you want the extra tie-out points to have the ability to make it a little more taut or to make it a little bit more wind resistant, then you've got 2 extra stakes to be able to make that happen as well.